Hi, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I am Imran and I am studying in communications and computer science in Berea College and I'm a junior.
Um, this summer, I heard you did an internship. Can you tell me a little bit about this internship?
Yes, so this summer I get to intern with Berea College Student Software Developer Team, and in the Student Software Developer Team we help with the web app from the Cults department along with the bonus scholars. There I help solve issues, problems, and even create new pages for the web app.
That's interesting. Can you describe the most important technical thing you learned during your internship? And can you tell me why it was important and how it corresponded to your classes?
Oh yes, definitely. During my internship, within that 8 weeks, I learned both the front end development and the back end development. And in fact, my supervisor Brian Ramsey at the start of the internship said that by the end of the internship, will be more or less become a full stack developer. So in my first 4 weeks of my internship, I mostly focused on the front end development, and the last 4 weeks the back end development. And it is very self reassuring and makes me proud of the classes that I have taken because in my first in my last semester of my sophomore and my first semester of my junior year, I took 226, 236, and 186, which are both software development, web development, and data structures and algorithm. And the things that I learned in those classes becomes a reflection of what I'm doing in my internship, because it's all about pair programming. That's what we did in 226, 236. We learned about object-oriented programming, and we were able to implement it in the internship. And moreover, there's a huge focus on HTML and CSS and Jinja and Django and all of those. And these skills that I've learned over in those technical classes were able to be transferred to my internship, and that helped a lot in making myself comfortable with that large code base that I have to work in my internship.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell me what the most important non technical thing you learned during your internship and why was that important?
Yes, definitely. Because when I entered into this internship, I'm double majoring in communication and computer science. So I go in with the intention that I want to use this internship as an opportunity to help me strengthen my communication skills and computer science skills. And in the non-technical aspect, my communication skills, I was able to implement the things that I learned in my organizational communication class. During my organizational communication class, I built a website for AUW Berea, and there I have done research such as web development through rhetoric, and which is basically the idea that in order for a website or a software to be successful, you need to have a good quality client developer communication and relationship. And as a result, I was able to implement those over into my internship, which result in like 4 or 5 meetings with the client.
Interesting. Can you explain what you felt most proud of that you accomplished during your internship and why are you proud of this accomplishment?
Oh, there are multiple achievements that I am proud of, but one of the things that I am proud of is implementing the undo button. And that is because the undo button is brought up by my friend Steven Lintelman later, and it's something that's out of my comfort zone. I didn't think about that idea, and I was forced to work with the back end, which is basically out of my comfort zone, and I was able to implement it through the help of my another partner Anna. We were able to solve it, and by the end of it, I felt a great achievement that this feature is going to be implemented and going to be used by the clients.
Why do you feel you deserve this internship and why do you feel like you have met their expectations?
I entered into the CS major just 1 year ago, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what I was doing. I had an imposter syndrome. But the more I am able to make work on projects, classworks, and this great experience, the internship with Student Software Developer Team, it reassured me that what I'm doing is right, and the path that I am working on is the right path. So I feel like what this internship has offered me is something that's a great experience, and I believe that I met the expectations because I am going to the team next semester.
That is very cool.
Thank
What
you.
experience in this internship has forced you to reevaluate your understandings?
One thing that forced me to reevaluate my understanding is with front-end development. In my intro to web development class, and as software developers, we have learned about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we always have the assumption that that's front-end development, but it's not. There is a much bigger picture, and one of them is the browser side of front-end development. And during my third and my fourth week, I was forced to, not forced, but I was presented to implement the full screen API for an event kiosk, and it took me a week just to figure out that there's a browser side of event listening to it. And thanks to my supervisor, Brian Ramsey, I was able to solve the problem, and it changed my mind in what front-end development is.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for interviewing me.